In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made $3,550 mining crypto in December of 2022. Now, this is the 8th month in this earnings review series, and surprisingly enough, this is the most profitable month I've seen yet. That's largely driven by the earnings of one single crypto project, which I will reveal and go over in detail later in this video. Now, this review will only include crypto income earned in the month of December 2022. It'll include income from mining, running crypto nodes, and any interest earned in decentralized finance, also known as DeFi. I've also included estimates for my monthly expenses, including electrical costs, as well as VPS hosting costs for running crypto nodes. This way we can get an accurate picture of my net income for the month. In prior months' videos, several subscribers had reached out and asked if I could include a liquidity rating into my analysis, i.e. how easy is it to convert the cryptocurrency that I'm either mining or earning through a node into either Bitcoin, another cryptocurrency, or to USD or to a stable coin.
A gold mine we can't sell.
So I've included that in this month's analysis, and we'll review that as well later in this video. When I look at the analytics of my prior month earnings review videos, I see that a lot of people skip ahead in the video to the earnings review by project spreadsheet. So to save yourself some time, if you're planning on skipping ahead, it starts at this time. Now, to start off, I would consider a lot of these different crypto mining projects that I'm involved in to be considered highly speculative mining projects. I fully expect a lot of these projects are going to die and be complete losses.
That didn't go so well.
But the hope is there will be some projects that'll be huge winners that'll greatly offset any losses that I incurred on the failed projects.
Maybe.
I've also found that getting involved in projects early can be very rewarding because generally the ones who get in first generally are rewarded the most.
Oh, well, knowledge is my reward, sir.
Now, this earnings review is a monthly series I've been doing. This is month 8 of that series. I've created a playlist on my channel with all the other videos linked. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested in checking the prior month videos out. Let's start off by looking at the historical income statement charts. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, our December revenue came in at $3,550, our highest revenue month yet. So that's a $1,755 increase over our November revenue of $1,795. That increase in revenue is largely driven by an increase in miner revenue. Miner revenue came in at $2,613, a $1,900 increase over November. I'll review what the main project that's driving that increase when we get into the review by project detail. Next, our node revenue was down versus November, and that's largely driven by a decrease in the underlying cryptocurrency values for the two main node projects that I'm involved in, which are Flux and Presearch. Our DeFi revenue was slightly down for the month, and that's also being driven by a decrease in cryptocurrency prices. Our expenses are relatively flat for December. Expenses came in at $738 versus $723 for November. So that's a $15 increase month over month, and that's really just being driven by the extra day that we have in December being 31 days and November being 30. If we take our revenue minus our expenses, our net income for the month came in at $2,812, a $1,741 increase over November, and our biggest net income month yet. So really promising in terms of our net income for the month, but like we'll go over here in detail by the project, I do not expect this net income increase to carry on at this rate in future months, unfortunately. At least not yet. As I've stated in prior videos, I'm not sharing this information today to try to brag about how much money I'm making every month. I'm also not trying to promote one project over another or try to pump a project so that there's liquidity so I can sell my coins on you. I'm really sharing this information to, one, keep myself accountable, to try to track the profitability of every project over every month so that I can allocate money towards or away projects as they become profitable or unprofitable. I'm also sharing information with you so that you can make informed decisions in the future about any crypto projects that you're involved in. I hope you can gain from any insights that I may be able to provide you in this video. So welcome back to those who skipped forward. Here is our summary of profitability by crypto project for the month of December. It's ranked from most profitable to least profitable. If we scroll down here to the bottom, our total revenue equals the $3,550 that we reviewed in our historical charts. Our expenses of $737 and our net income for the month of $2,812. Now, this analysis does take me quite a bit of time to put together every month. So if you gain any value from this, I really would appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really does help support the channel. Thank you. If we look at the most profitable project for the month, this is our DIMO data miner. If we look at a comparison month over month, it was number 20 last month, and that's because the DIMO token had not gone live until, I believe it went live in mid-December. I did a video on DIMO about a month ago. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. So the reason the profitability for DIMO was so high for the month is there was an airdrop for DIMO that happened, I believe, in mid-December as well. When the project went live, the team essentially rewarded DIMO tokens based on when you ordered your DIMO data miner. So I ordered mine, I believe, in early February of 2022. So I essentially got 10 months of DIMO tokens airdropped to me 2 weeks ago in December. So that equals 30,000 DIMO tokens, which today at current price of DIMO token of 7 cents per DIMO token, that equals just over $2,000 in DIMO tokens. So that is a nice reward for me, especially since the DIMO data miners, I believe they were about $400 each. So we more than doubled our cost on those miners at this point. I most likely will sell a large portion of these DIMO data tokens in the near future, but I haven't quite yet decided when I'm going to do that yet. So I would not expect this $2,000 to continue every month. If we look at my earnings for my DIMO data miner just for the month of December, I earned 5,456 DIMO tokens, which currently is valued at $363. So at current run rate, I'm looking at a potential $363 per month for my 2 DIMO data miners, which is also extremely profitable for a device that really doesn't do a whole lot at this point. So like I mentioned earlier, a lot of times it does really pay off to be early in some of these crypto projects. Our number 2 project is my pre-search nodes. I currently have 87 pre-search nodes. I had 3 new nodes I stood up this month at 4,000 pre-search each. At this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to try to spin up new nodes or really just stake the additional pre-search that I'm earning on one of my current nodes. So my number 3 project for the month is my Flux nodes. I have 3 main Flux nodes. There are 2 Nimbus and 1 Stratus. And I also stake a small amount on 2 Titan nodes, which Titan nodes, you don't need actual hardware to stake on, and you can earn some yield on your Flux. My understanding is the Titan nodes are currently full, so you really have to wait until some space fills up for those Titan nodes if you were interested in staking some Flux on Titan nodes. I did do a tutorial on how to stake Titan nodes, so in the event that space opens up in the future, you can use my tutorial to stake on some Titan nodes. So we did see a decrease in profitability for Flux for the month, and that's really being driven by a decrease in the price of Flux for the month. Our number 4 project are my Stepin NFT shoes. I have 10 of these shoes. There was a double earnings event for December for Stepin, so I actually earned about $100 net for the month for my Stepin NFT shoes. Number 5 are my MatchX M2 Pros. I have 2 of these. These miners are completely empty. I withdrew all my MXC several months ago. I also did a video last week on my MatchX M2 Pros about some of the shady things the team is currently doing. So I encourage you to check that video out. I think it's kind of eye-opening, some of the changes that the team has been implementing to try to discourage people from either getting rid of their miners or withdrawing from their miners. So if you're considering getting into the MatchX M2 project, I would make sure you understand all the risks that are involved, because I think with the decreased earnings that are going on, I think there is considerable risk if you wanted to commit capital to this project. Number 6 is my Coinbase staking for my Ethereum. I have 15 Ethereum on Coinbase that are staking. It is back to a 3.8% APY. Last month I was showing 6.85% APY. I'm not sure why Coinbase decreased that APY, but we did see a decrease for the month. Number 7 is my HiFix GeoNet station. This one has been pretty steady. The price of the coin is down about 32% versus last month, but really a lot of these altcoins, we did see some major drops in the altcoin prices over the last month. I did order the upgrade. There was a chip that I ordered that'll actually double the earnings for this device going forward. My understanding is they'll be shipping those out sometime in January. So once I receive that chip, I'll probably do an update video on the HiFix station and my updated earnings for this device. Number 8 is my Deeper Connect Mini. I now have a credit score of 895. My understanding is my earnings is maxed out on this at this point. So I'm earning 164 Deeper tokens per day, which right now at current deeper price, it translates to about $32 per month. So number 9 project is my 3 iPolo G1 minis. These mine the cryptocurrency Grin. Now Grin did see a huge increase in its price month over month. We saw an 85% increase in the price of Grin month over month. So that contributed to an increase in profitability. Now I am mining all 3 of my miners using solo mining right now, using 2miners.com. Previously in November, I was using 1 as solo and 2 using pool, and I made a decision to switch all 3 of them to solo. Now I did see a decrease in the number of coins I've earned this month using solo mining, and that's just the risk you take when you mine solo. It is kind of a gamble whether or not you're going to mine as many coins. So at this point, I'm going to continue mining solo just because I think there's potential higher upside with solo mining, and you don't have to pay the 1% pool fee, and you don't have to deal with potential pool outages. Our number 10 is my 5 Helium Bobcat 300 miners. Now, the one thing I did notice is I did see a 17% increase in the amount of H&T that I earned versus my November earnings for these miners. But the bad part is we did see quite a big drop in the price of H&T month over month, a 36% decrease. Now, number 11 is the Drip network. Drip did see a huge decrease in the coin price month over month, a 55% decrease. So I'm really not earning much for this project at this point. I earned about $13 for the month. For Drip, I really only put a couple $100 into this project at the beginning of 2022, kind of as a speculative play. I really did not have any high hopes for this project, and we've essentially just seen a steady decrease in the price of the Drip token throughout the year, and I really would expect this coin to eventually go to zero. The number 12 is my Examiner, my 64 terabyte Examiner. At this point, I'm using 625 gigabytes of space. That's up 25 gigabytes for the month. This is also still on testnet, so we're really not earning much at this point, earning $6 in the utilization of space. Essentially, we're just using about 1% of the space at this point. So this will hopefully be much more profitable as we utilize more space in the future. If you're involved in this project, I'd be interested to see what everyone else's space utilization looks like. So let me know in the comment section below. Number 13 is the Block Unlimited. Nothing really going on with this project. We saw another big decrease in the price of this coin, so really just making $1 per month. Number 14 is a new project, Map Metrics. I did a video on this a couple weeks ago. This is a miner that you put in your vehicle. I really just started utilizing this about 2 weeks ago, and I don't drive very much at all, so I've really only made about $1 at this point. Next 2 are 2 of my Gold Shell Mini box miners, really very close to break even on these. Really the strategy that I've switched to with a lot of these box miners is I'm really putting them throughout my house at this point, and they're being used as heaters for the winter. I live up in Minnesota and it is frigid cold, so these box miners really can be used as space heaters in your house. Even though they may be unprofitable, really the savings you're getting is they're providing heat to your house, which can offset some of the unprofitable you may see on a net basis when you look at your revenue minus the expense to run these miners. The next 3 projects, my Helium Bobcat 500, Weather XM, and PiFi Aware are all on testnet. My Helium Bobcat 500, this is a 5G station. At this point, I've earned 1.1 million tokens, but at this point, there is no value yet for the Helium mobile token. So it'll be interesting to see in the next couple months, once this token is released, what the value of that token will be. Weather XM, I did see an email yesterday that they have finally released their white paper. I am planning on reading that over the next couple days, and I may do an update video on Weather XM if there's some interest from you guys. And then PiFi Aware, this project is also still on testnet, so there's no underlying token value for the PiFi tokens that I'm earning. So number 20 are my 6 Bitcoin miners. I did a video on this several weeks ago. These are currently offline because they're not really profitable at this point. So until we see an increase in the price of Bitcoin or a decrease in the miner difficulty for mining Bitcoin, these will be left off for the time being. But I'm hopeful over the next couple months those will change and we'll be able to turn these back on. And then finally down here at the bottom, like I mentioned, the bottom 7, these are a lot of the mini box miners. Really, they are slightly unprofitable on a net basis at this point, but they're being used as heaters throughout my house. So at least through the winter, I'll keep them on since they are providing some value in terms of providing heat to my house. Next, we look at the miner graveyard. There's no new additions to the miner graveyard this month, so that is a good sign. But I am also keeping a close eye on drip as well as some of those unprofitable box miners. As we get out of the winter, I may have to move those to the miner graveyard if they continue to be unprofitable or we see continued decline in some of these altcoin prices. Next, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I did add a liquidity score analysis to this analysis to try to determine how easy it is to sell the cryptocurrency that you're mining and either sell it for Bitcoin, another altcoin, or to a stablecoin or to USD. So I gave each token a liquidity score between 1 and 5. 1 being is very hard to sell or convert the coin, and 5 being it's very easy to sell or convert the coin. So we'll go through each of these real quick, and I'll give you my high-level thoughts of each of these projects. So number 1, DIMO. DIMO I rate as a 3, and that's just because I haven't sold any of my DIMO yet. So as I try out selling some of my DIMO airdrop tokens over the next month, I may change this depending on how difficult it is to sell my DIMO. Number 2, our pre-search. Pre-search I'm listing as a 4, and that's because although I have successfully sold some pre-search in the past, you do have to put in a request to sell your tokens, so it's not immediate. So there is some work that you have to do on the front end to sell your pre-search tokens. Flux I rated as a 5 because Flux is very easy to sell and convert. GST I rank as a 5, and that's because I sell my GST every day as I earn it. I think GST is on its path towards 0. So I every day either convert it to Solana or I'll move it onto a different exchange or a different wallet and convert it to Bitcoin. MXC I rank as a 1. Check out my other video on some of the secrets that MXC team is doing, but really you get penalized so much in selling your tokens for this project that I think it creates a very illiquid coin because you're getting penalized so much and there's so many different fees involved with selling your MXC tokens. My staked Ethereum I also am scoring as a 1, and that's because Ethereum 2.0 stake tokens are locked up for the time being. My understanding is that lockup period may end sometime in 2023, but at this point, it's uncertain on when that time will be yet. So I don't think that my Ethereum tokens are at risk or anything, but there's, in terms of being able to sell my Ethereum that I'm earning with my staking, I cannot do that at this point. So I'm putting it as an illiquid 1. HiFix GeoNet, putting that as a 3. I have not sold any of my Geo tokens, so I am not familiar yet with the selling process for that token. Same thing with Deeper. I have not sold any of my Deeper tokens. Grin I would say is fairly easy. I did put a tutorial several months ago on how to sell your Grin with an exchange. The only exchange that I could find where you could sell your Grin was called Trade Ogre. So that is the one downfall with selling Grin, is it is not available on a lot of exchanges, but there was an exchange that I was able to successfully sell my Grin and exchange it for Bitcoin. So if you're interested in selling your Grin, I encourage you to check out that tutorial. Helium, your HNT, you actually have your Helium in a wallet when you're mining Helium, so it is easy to move that onto an exchange and sell it. So I'm showing that as liquidity score 5. Drip, I'm putting that as a 3 right now. I have been able to convert my drip to different tokens in the past, but the other day when I tried to convert some, I was not able to do that. So I kept getting an error. So right now I'm putting that as a 3. Examiner, I'm also putting as a 3. I've never sold any of my SCP tokens. Block, I'm putting as a 2. I've also never sold my block tokens, but my understanding is there are swaps where you can exchange these tokens, but the liquidity of these may be somewhat suspect at this point. Mapmetrics I'm putting as a 3. I've never sold any Mapmex tokens at this point. SAP is a 3. Starcoin I'm putting as a 2. There aren't many exchanges that I'm aware of that currently support Starcoin, so I think it is somewhat illiquid at this point, at least for US users. Helium Bobcat 500 mobile tokens, there's no market for this yet, so all 3 of these that are on testnet I'm putting as a most difficult 1 liquidity score. And then down here at the bottom, these Bitcoin miners, to be most liquid because Bitcoin is very easy to convert those, especially if you're using one of the major pools. Same thing with your Gold Shell Mini Doge Pros. I mine Litecoin and Dogecoin for these, but every couple days I convert that Litecoin and Dogecoin I mine over to Bitcoin, and that's pretty easy to do via a swap. Library, Handshake, and CK Box. I have not sold any of these coins, so I am not familiar with those in terms of the process for selling those coins. So I'm putting those at 3s. I know Library, they lost their lawsuit with the SEC, so that token will be classified as security in the future. So that may make it more difficult to trade. So that's why I'm putting that as a 2. And then finally, the KD Box Pro and the Mini Doge, I'm also putting those as fairly easy to liquidate your coins. I hope this liquidity analysis was helpful for everyone in terms of an assessment of how easy it is to sell some of these coins. I want to continue to provide as much value as possible to you in these videos. So if you have any topics or projects you want me to cover in further detail or do a separate video on, or if you just have any general comments or questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me in the comment section below. I always make it a point to respond to everyone's comments, whether they're positive or negative. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and have a happy new year.